गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, Hare Krishna. So, welcome to the Madhurya Kadambini discussion. Let's begin again today with the Mangalacharan verse. Ridva prenava bhaktishasya vitate sanjeevani swagama rambe kamatapatarudahdamani vishwapagullasini धूरान्मे मरुशाकिनोऽपि सरसि भावाय भूयात् प्रभु श्रीचैतन्यकृपानिरङ्कुशमः माधुर्यकादम्बिनी श्रीचैतन्यकृपानिरङ्कुशमः माधुर्यकादम्बिनी श्रीचैतन्यकृपानिरङ्कुशमः माधुर्यकादम्बिनी भक्ति पूर्वे श्रुतातां तु रसं पश्येद्यदात्तुधि तं नौमि सततं रूप नाम प्रिय जनम हरे. So if you remember yesterday we were going into the details of sadhu ninda, the first of the offenses. After clarifying firstly uh, the first thing is that there are four kinds of anarthas: dushkritutta, sukrututta, apradutta, and bhaktita. And apradutta is what he is going to deal. But the seva apradhas, what we commit, are not so serious, because by chanting stutis, they can be taken care. But if you do seva with the attitude that I will ultimately chant stutis, then the seva apradhas turn nam apradh. And then on this path of bhakti, omitting any of the anga does not constitute a apradh. Nahi anga upakrama dvamso. You know? One can dhavan nimil netra, na skalet na patet. One can close his eyes and run, not walk also. And there is no question that he will fall or he will trip, you know. But aparads, that is the power of taking shelter of Bhagavad Dharma. But aparads cause the trouble. And that's why he first clarifies this about bhakti. And then he goes into actually the discussion of aparads. And the first is the sadhu ninda. So yesterday we discussed, started discussing about the sadhu ninda. What is the satam ninda? The first of the most grievous of the offenses. And then yesterday we also discussed, oh, does this sadhu nanda apply only to pure devotees? No, it applies to even somebody who's a dirachari, you know. If he doesn't have all these qualities, even if he's a durachari and if one commits offense, it will have its repercussions. Now, further, he is going to clarify some more points about that. And that is what is in text or paragraph 6. What should the offender do if the devotee does not take offense? This offender offends a sadhu, but the sadhu doesn't take at all offense because sadhu is very exalted. So this is being discussed in this paragraph, and we will discuss this today. Kimcha kashin mahabhagavata tatvam mahaparadinapi yadyapi na upyate tad api tatra apradavata swa shuddhartam प्रणत्यादिभिर अनुवर्तनीय एव सह श्रेया महापुरुषपाद पांशुभिर निरस्त तेजसु तद एव शोभनम इति सतां व्याकेन तच्चरण रेणुनाम असहिष्णुतया तत्फल प्रदायत अवगमत. Sometimes one commits an offense to a Mahabhagavat, exalted devotee. Kimcha kashin Mahabhagavatam tattva Mahaparadepi. But due to the Mahabhagavat's quality of forgiveness, Yadapi na kupayate tad api. He does not become angry with the offender. Still for rectification. Tatra aparadvata swashuddhartam. The offender should ask forgiveness by paying obeisances at his lotus feet. Pranatadibir anuvartaniya eva saha. Shastras say the glory of that offender is diminished by the dust of the lotus feet of the Mahabhagavat. Shreshams Mahapurusha Pada Pamsubir Narasta Teja Eva Shobhanam. Iti. This is actually the verse from the Bhagavatam which Sati is going to speak. Sati speaks this to her father Daksha. This is certainly a proper reaction for evil minded persons. One should thus understand from this verse that though Mahabhagavas do not generally get angry, the dust of their feet does not give an offender, does not forgive an offender and accordingly gives the reaction to the offense. Satam vakena tat charan renunam asishnuta tat phala pradhayatvagamat. Although the sadhu doesn't become angry, but the dust of his lotus feet will not tolerate it and it will give its fruit. Pradhayaka avagamat. Now, this we need to understand. We'll go line by line. Sometimes one commits an offense to a Mahabhagavat, but due to the Mahabhagavat's quality of forgiveness, he does not become angry with the offender. Tadapi tad apradata swashuddhartam pranata adibir anuvartaniya eva saha. Still for rectification, the offender should ask forgiveness. Shastras say the glory of an offender is diminished by the dust of the lotus feet of the Mahabharata. This is certainly a proper reaction for the evil-minded persons. One should thus understand from this verse that though Mahabharata do not generally get angry, the dust of their feet does not forgive the offender and accordingly gives him the reaction of the offense. And that is this verse, which Sati speaks to Daksha, which is a Daksha Shiva pastime in the 4th canto, 4th chapter, verse 13. Nashcharyam yad asatsu sarvada mahadvinanda kunatmakavadishu seyasha mahapurusha pada pamsubir nirasta tejusu tad eva shobhanam. It is not surprising, na ascharyam, that the materialist, etad asatsu, those who don't realize that they are a spirit soul, and they are the body, claiming that the gross body is the soul. Kuna paika atma vadishu. Kuna paika atma means, kunapa refers to what? Anyone knows? Anyone knows what is kunapa referring to? Somebody had raised. And kunapa. Sanna Lakshmi Mataji, yes.
Kunapam is the bag, the body, the bag of body.
Body, yes, it's body made of kapha, pitta, vayu. Made of these three ingredients according to her work. Yes, Syatma Buddhi Kunapeka Tridhatu. Tridhatu, Kapha Pitta Vayu. So Kunapa Atma Vadishu. Constantly criticize the devotees. Sarvada Mahad Vinandya. With envy. Because criticism means it's born out of envy. Sa Irsham. Pride of their powers. Nirasta Tejasu. But the dust from the feet of the great devotees. Mahapurusha Pada Pamsubir. The glory of that criticism is the result it gives. Tadeva Shobhanam. So Mahapurushas don't take offense, but actually the dust of their lotus feet will take the offense and it will give the results. So that's what, Madhusati is saying. Here, the most important point to be noted is that who generally commits offense? What does this verse say? Who generally commits offense? What does this verse say? Shri Lalita Sumukhi Mataji, yes.
Materialists.
Materialist. Can you go into a more detail? Who are these materialists?
Mayavadi philosophers.
Mayavadi philosophers. Okay. Anyone else?
Anybody who's envious of the and his
Okay.
devotees.
Have you come across in the outside world, outside people criticizing devotees and all?
Yeah, I have friends who do that.
Okay. Now, have you come across that more in the outside world or within the community of devotees?
More in the outside world? No,
Okay.
I don't. No,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
many.
Pardon?
No, Prabhu, I don't know.
That's what I feel, Yes, Sunita Mataji, yes.
The one who is envious of the Lord, he criticizes the devotees.
Yeah, but generally this envy comes in the outside world, people who are not practicing Krishna consciousness or the devotees who are practicing Krishna consciousness.
Devotees who are practicing Krishna consciousness.
Yes, this is a very important point. It all comes in the association of devotees because we are taking the treatment. Outside people are harping on envy, lust, pride, and they are going on. But now when we start taking the treatment, it all comes out. And then we become envious of the devotees. So this is one point to be noted. The second point is that as long as we ourselves have not realized we are not this body, we are the spirit soul, the tendency of we committing offense is also there. It is there. So that's why we have to be very careful. Okay. Srimad Bhagavatam describes the characteristics of a Mahabhagavat. Sarva bhuteshu iha pashyet bhagavat bhavam atmana bhutani bhagavat atmanya esha bhagavatottama. Yogendra Havi said to Maharaj Muni, O king, one who sees the existence of his worshipful Lord in all living entities, Sarva bhuteshu iha pashyet bhagavat bhavam atmana, and sees the presence of all living entities in his worshipful Lord. Bhutani Bhagavat Atmani is known as a Bhagavatuttama. Esha Bhagavatuttama, or the foremost of the devotees. So this is a very exalted level of consciousness. The gopis of Vrindavan fit in it. Or when a devotee realizing the Lord in his heart feels that all living entities have the same realization and the same level of divine love as he has, he is known as the foremost of the devotees. Can you imagine this level of this Mahabhagavat? He has love for the Lord and he feels that actually, somebody who doesn't have also, but he feels that the Lord is in his heart, so he also has love in it. In fact, he has more love. I don't have love. So he considers himself fallen and he considers the other person who is not even a devotee to be elevated. Like the gopis, they see the bamboo tree and they say, oh, how such an exalted devotee you are, the bamboo tree, yeah? Because you're so close to the Lord. The Lord plays flute, you know, and he gives his other amber to you. We are not so fortunate. So this is the level of consciousness of the Mahabhagavats. This is a very exalted state, the Mahabhagavats. These Mahabhagavats wander the world completely absorbed in divine love with consciousness, without consciousness of the outer world and aloof from all worldly activities. If somebody blasphemes or even becomes hostile to them, then they also neither get angry nor take the offense. This is their quality. Forget of becoming angry. They don't become angry nor they take offense also. One may just think that such Mahabhagavas do not become angry or take the offense at anyone. Thus, blaspheming them cannot be an offense. So, if you take it like this, the author says that though they do not take the offense, the heart of a person blaspheming them becomes heavily contaminated. It becomes heavily contaminated, especially in the case of a Bhagavad. It becomes heavily contaminated. Now, I'll give a classic example of this, which is generally not understood clearly. of such a case, and let us see how devotees will understand this. But let me finish this discussion. Accidentally, if someone blasphemes such a Mahabharat, then the offender, for his own purification, should fall at his feet, glorify him, praise him, ask for forgiveness, and serve him favorably. Okay, so now the point was made. I'm just again going back here. The author says that though they do not take the offense, the heart of the person blaspheming them becomes heavily contaminated. So there is the pastime everyone knows and everyone has heard about it, that how Rup Goswami in his Bhajan Kutir was sitting and meditating, and he was meditating, and in his Leela Spurti, in his heart, he was seeing the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Generally, there are two different versions. In one version, it is said that, actually Srimati Radharani was picking the flowers from a tree, and Krishna was on the one of the branch, and he bent the branch with his leg so that it can reach Srimati Radharani's hand. And then she held the branch and was picking the flowers. Suddenly Krishna released his leg and the tree, bounced back, and Srimati Radharani was holding the tree and she was calling Krishna, 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 although Krishna was not there because she's always cautious of Krishna. And all the gopis started laughing. She's caught, she has love for Krishna. And suddenly Krishna jumped from that branch, So this scene he was seeing, and suddenly he also laughed, Rupa Goswami. Exactly at that moment, a person who was lame, who could not walk properly because he had a crippled leg, he was entering the Bhajan Kutir of Rupa Goswami in order to take darshan of this Mahabhagavat. And when he was entering, exactly at that time, Rupa Goswami laughed. And then he felt that, oh, seeing my condition, he has laughed, So he felt bad and he left back. Moment Rupa Goswami lost his Leela Spurti and lost his, this vision of the pastime. So my question to you all is, who committed an offense? Who committed an offense? One hand has been raised. Yes, Sunita Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Actually, the offense was committed by both of them. Or we can say
This
that
was
no one,
committed by both of them.
or
Okay,
no
nice
one, or no
understanding. Can
one.
you explain?
Yeah, actually, the the person who was crossing, who went to Rupa Goswami's kutir, he unknowingly felt, means he felt that Rupa Goswami has committed an offense,
Hmm.
and Rupa
How
Goswami
Rupa
didn't.
Goswami committed offense? You tell me.
Rupa Goswami committed offense. He also committed an offense unknowingly,
How he committed unknowingly? Tell us.
because that person got hurt. The
Because
person
that
was hurt.
person,
The lame
person
person
was.
hurt. He got hurt
Uh-huh. So if somebody gets hurt without any reason, how can you blame others for it? Because of his own misunderstanding, he gets hurt and he blames someone that you are the cause of it when he is not the cause. So how then that will be valid true? Okay, let's hear from others. Sri Lalita Sumukhi Mataji, yes. What do you feel?
Prabhu, he got offended, right? That I mean, Vaishnava feels that I should not offend anybody and hurt anybody. Now that other person got offended, though he's not the actual cause, but like yesterday we saw, no, you can explain, seek forgiveness, fall at their feet, glorify them.
No, no, no. Please come. Try to understand our question. Rup Goswami laughed. This person entered and he felt that he has laughed on me and he left. So, who committed offense is my question. Yes, Veer Krish Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Prabhupada.
Yes.
So it's that Brahmana is committed. He's committed
Huh.
offense because uh,
Why do you
uh,
say that he committed offense?
he committed offense because he, in heart, he felt envious and angry towards Rup Goswami, whereas Rup Goswami was not at all, not at all laughing on his condition. He was in Leela Spurti, he was laughing on that, but he misunderstood, and because of
There is some
misunderstanding,
background disturbance, Prabhuji. We are not
yes,
able to hear you.
uh, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying that because of misunderstanding, the Brahmana became angry with Rup Goswami and could be envious also, and because of that, he committed an offense.
Mhm. So actually, okay, if this Brahmana committed offense, then why did Rup Goswami lose the vision of that Leela?
Uh, it's because of so that once Leela gets stopped, then Rup Goswami will come to his external senses, and then he will realize this Brahmana, and so that further offense that Brahmana should not commit on Rup Goswami. Could be that.
Okay, some good understanding, but let me a little more clarify. Actually, this Vaishnava who came to see Rup Goswami, he was crippled. He was, he had a crippled leg, and actually he was also crooked. He had been hearing the glories of Rup Goswami. Everyone was speaking about Rup Goswami. So who is this Rup Goswami? Let me go and see. And when he entered the kutir, Rup Goswami was seeing this in his Leela, and exactly at that time he laughed. Now this person took that he is laughing on me, but he had not laughed on him. You have to understand. This is a misunderstanding he had. And immediately he left. Now Rup Goswami's Leela stopped because actually Srimati Radharani stopped the Leela. Because Srimati Radharani wanted to save that Vaishnava. Because if that Vaishnava commits this aparad against a Mahabhagat like Rup Goswami, he will be destroyed completely. And when this Brahmana went back to his kutir and he was sitting, his heart was burning and he was feeling the pain. Rup Goswami was not feeling any pain. So this is the most important point, the heart of the person blaspheming them becomes heavily contaminated. So you can understand that, when actually a Vaishnava aparadh happens, how to understand whether who has committed, you have to see whose heart is contaminated. And this you have to apply for ourselves. If our heart is getting contaminated, then you should understand that we have committed an offense. Immediately we should rectify it. So this Brahmana, this crooked Vaishnava's heart got contaminated and he was going through suffering. Rup Goswami is not going through any suffering. That means he had not committed offense. Srimati Radharani purposefully stopped the Leela Smurti. Then Sanatan Goswami came and Sanatan Goswami narrated. Rup Goswami, this is what I was seeing, but it got break. I don't know what was the reason. Sanatan Goswami, being very, very expert and learned, he said, let's, call all the Vaishnavas for prasad. And he went to invite this Vaishnava. That time this Vaishnava was in his bhajan kutir, he was not ready to come out, you know. And then Sanatan said, oh, Mahashay, please come, give darshan. We would like to have your darshan. What darshan? Went to take darshan of Rup Goswami and he laughed at me. And then Rup Goswami, did you laugh at him? No. So he made it clear, Rup Goswami. And then, oh, you speak that we are not the body, we are the spirit soul, but what is your conduct? So he was finding fault with Rup Goswami. And then Rup Goswami, being a humble Vaishnava, although he had not committed offense, although he was not going through any suffering, he begged forgiveness. Seeing this humility of Rup Goswami, this person's heart transformed and he also begged forgiveness. And then he got purified. And that is why Srimati Radharani stopped, the Leela Spurti of Rupa Goswami. So that this Vaishnava, if he commits that offense reaction will be so severe that it will completely destroy. In order to show compassion on that, Srimati Radharani not stop the Leela. It is not because that Rupa Goswami committed offense, his Leela Spurti stopped. I hope this point is very clear. Accidentally, if someone blasphemes such a Mahabhagavat, then the offender for his own purification should fall at his feet, glorify him, praise him, ask him for forgiveness, and serve him favorably. One may ask here if that if the Mahabhagavats are equal to praise and slander, and they're unable to get angry, and there is no possibility of being satisfied by glorifying or paying obeisances to them, how can the heart of the offender be purified of an offense to be nullified? These Mahabhagavats, they are indifferent to praise and criticism. They don't get angry. Then how will they become satisfied by offering praise or offering obeisances? So how will that offender become purified and the offense will get nullified? It can only be done by glorifying, paying obeisances, and sinlessly serving him. The author cites an example from the Srimad Bhagavatam that describes the anger of Sati Devi due to the disrespect shown to Sriman Mahadev during the sacrifice performed by Daksha. This is the verse we read. This verse explains that though Mahabhagavats do not take any offense, the dust of their feet cannot tolerate the offense. So what does it mean that the dust of the lotus feet cannot tolerate the offense? Srila Jiva Goswami gives a very nice example in the Gopal Champu. He says that just like Sanatana Goswami was taking not the path from the Simhadwar to meet Mahaprabhu, but he went by the beach. And when he was going by the beach, in the hot sun in the afternoon, maybe you can tolerate the heat, but your feet cannot tolerate that heat. That's why there are blisters, right? So similarly, the Mahabhagavad tolerates the offense, whatever is committed by anyone who is innocent, because his heart is magnanimous. He doesn't take offense. But just like the heat can be tolerated by that person, but the feet cannot tolerate the heat, the dust of the feet of that Mahabhagavad don't tolerate that offense. And the dust of that feet will give the reactions. And that is why one has to, even though the Mahabhagavad doesn't take the offense, one has to go and ask forgiveness from the Mahabhagavad and first serve his lotus feet so that the dust will not give the reaction. One must satisfy the dust of their feet by glorifying them and then paying obeisances at their feet. Serving the lotus feet also it's not just physically taking the dust, serving them also is like taking the dust. And hearing from them is also sitting at their lotus feet and hearing the glories of the Vaishnavas is also like taking the dust. So this is about a further clarification. Now he is going to come to a very extreme case, before we conclude Sadhu Ninda. But before that, any questions you have about this explanation? Any questions you have? Any clarifications? Was it clear or no? Yes, Bir Krish Prabhuji.
Correct. Pro here in this example, dust of the
Pardon?
Vaishnava. Regarding this example of dust of the lotus feet of the Vaishnava, it appears that dust is conscious of, how it is taking the offense.
Don't go into all that. Just simple example. Just like a person can tolerate the heat walking on next to the ocean on this ocean bank, but the feet cannot tolerate the heat. So similarly, the Mahabhagavats will tolerate the offense, but his dust of his feet will not tolerate it. That means Krishna, Krishna actually is, a servant of his pure devotees. And he feels that, in the Uddhav Gita it comes that in order to purify himself, he walks where the sadhus walks and he takes the dust. So it's ultimately Krishna who gives the reactions. Krishna will not tolerate. Just like Draupadi, was insulted, and Krishna gave the reaction to the Kauravas in the form of Mahabharata, what like that. So Krishna will give the reactions.
Right. Thank you.
Okay, Chakra Rama Prabhuji.
Yes, same question. I was a bit confused about the dust of the feet.
Yeah.
You have explained
You have
it.
to understand this in a poetic way, not in philosophy way. It's a poetic way of, just like you cannot tolerate the heat, you can tolerate the heat of the sun on the sand beach, but the feet cannot tolerate. So similarly, the dust of the feet of the Mahabhagavat, it means Krishna will give the reaction to it. That's the point. Yes. Any other questions about this topic? Now we'll go to the next topic, the next paragraph. The causeless mercy of the great souls. Okay, I'll just directly read line by line. Kimcha duravagama nishkranyake kvachit kripa drishto prabhavishno swachanda charita kvachin mahabhagavata maulo tu na kapi maryada paryapnoti. Sometimes due to unknown reasons or even without reason, the all-powerful, most independent crest jewels of Mahabhagavats bestow their causeless mercy. Kripa. There's no hard and fast rule for their bestowing mercy on others. Just unknown reasons or without any reason, these Mahabhagavats can bestow their causeless mercy. And there is no hard and fast rule whether they'll bestow or not bestow. Yata, she become Vahayati Katukti Vishaya Varshinya api rahugune sa jad bharatasya kripa. Examples he starts giving. For example, Mahabhagavat Jad Bharat bestowed mercy on Raghun, though he made Jad Bharat carry his palanquin and rebuked him with poisonous torrent of sarcastic words. So I'll go into this example a little in detail, but let me finish reading. यथा च पाषंड धर्व अवलंबी स्वहिंसार्थम उपदेशुषु दैत्य समूह उपचर्यस्य वशुश्च चेदिराजस्य चेदी raj upachari vasu bestowed his mercy on the atheistic demons that came to kill him. यथा वा महापापानि स्वललाटे रुधिर पातन्य अपि माधवे प्रभु वार्षस्य नित्यानंदस्येति. The most compassionate Nityanand Prabhu bestowed his mercy on the most sinful Magai, who struck his forehead, causing streams of blood to ooze from it. But still, the most compassionate Akrodha Paramananda Nityananda Rai, he gave the mercies. 3 examples he's giving. Evam eva guru avagya itya atrapi geham. Just as it is an offense to blaspheme the saints, so it is to disrespect the guru. So he takes the first and the third offenses among the Dasha Pranams, the same explanation what is given for first. Shivasya Shri Vishnu iti atrevam vivechaniyam. After this, we will discuss the difference between Shiva and Shri Vishnu. So that's what he says. Okay, now Mahabhagavats are so absorbed in ecstasy that they simply wander around the world free from attachment and hatred, indifferent towards praise and infamy. Hence, it is also not possible for them to either bless or curse anybody. Still, as it is described here, it is a terrible offense to blaspheme them. This is not a universal rule. However, Mahabhagavats are completely independent and fully capable of bestowing causeless mercy. We know that Mahabhagavats, Krishna is completely under the control of such Mahabhagavats, and wherever the Mahabhagavats want to give mercy, they can give. Sometimes they shower infinite causeless mercy even on hostile offender. Their mercy thus makes the offender successful. The author describes this fact by citing 3 examples. So the first example which the author cited was Jad Bharat. Now we know this pastime comes in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 5th canto, how Maharaj Rahugun was traveling in his palanquin, and he was the king of Sindhu and Sauvira. and he was traveling on the bank of Indumati, and one of the carriers was weak and he could not carry. And the head saw that there was one stout, hefty personality. He was Jad Bharat, So he told, come and carry the king's pelican. He immediately agreed. And then all four of them were carrying the pelican, but Maharaj Bharat, being a Mahabhagavat, he was very careful not to stamp the ants. He was conscious. Whereas the others, they were not conscious. Vision of a Mahabhagavat. And that's why the palanquin started shaking. And Maharaj Rauban was feeling uncomfortable and he shouted. And the other servants told, no, it's not us, this new person who's carrying. And then they told him, not to do this, be careful. But again, when they started carrying further, again Maharaj Bharat, that is Jad Bharat was very conscious not to stamp on the ants, and that's why he was dodging them a little bit, and this was shaking. And this time Maharaj Rauban was furious, and he hurled very, very torrents, as it is mentioned, torrents, poisonous torrents of sarcastic words. It comes up. Now here I want to make a point, and we need to try to understand what is the consciousness of a Mahabhagavat also. So when these torrents of words were hurled at Maharaj Bharat, because Maharaj Jad Bharat was on an advanced state of consciousness, he was a Mahabhagat, it doesn't mean that he did not get affected. They also get hurt. But their consciousness is like an ocean. They immediately come back to their Krishna consciousness very quickly. But here, Maharaj Bharat, Jad Bharat, instead of, forget becoming angry, he actually became compassionate on Maharaj Rauban and started instructing transcendental knowledge. And when he started hearing this transcendental knowledge and the discussion happens, actually he jumped from his pelican and offered his dandavats. And he said, I told you yesterday that I'm not fearful of Shiva's trident. I'm not fearful of anything, but I'm fearful of a Vaishnava offense. So this is the first example given by Vishwanath Chakratakar. This is Jad Bharat. Upachari Vasu, this is not well known. So I will take up Upachari Vasu, and then Lord Nityananda Prabhu is well known. Srila Jiva Goswami quotes the example of Upachari Vasu from the Vishnu Dharmottar in Bhakti Sandarbha. Yatha Upacharya Vasur Vrittam Vishnu Dharme Sahi Deva Sahayayam Eva Daityan Hatva Viraja Cha Bhagavat Anudhyanaya Patalam Cha Pravishtan. This story is from the Vishnu Dharmatar, shows that the great saints can also bestow their mercy on the great offenders. It is said therein that once Upachari Vasu helped the demigods, Devataya Sahayam, in killing the demons, finally feeling repentance for killing the demons. Hatva Viraja Cha. He became detached from material affairs. Then he entered Pataloka, desiring to constantly meditate on Sri Hari without distraction. Bhagavat Anudhyana Patalam Cha Pravishtan. So Upachari Vasu fought on behalf of the Devatas and he killed all the demons and won for the Devatas. And then he felt a lot of repentance that I've killed so many Devatas. So he went in the Patalok to do his meditation on the Lord, undisturbed. Api hantum abda chidra daitya samagatya tat prabhav venodata shastra evatishtan tatascha vyavaharutyamaha puna shukra upadeshena tam prati pashand margam upadishtato api jataya tat kripaya bhagavad bhakta babhuvar iti. The demons came to know that their old enemy has refrained from killing and has entered Patalok without weapons. Tamcha nivritim api, thinking it is a good chance to take revenge, they reached Patalok to kill Upachari Vasu. Hantum labda chidram daitya samagatya tat. They came there. Raised to cut off the head of Upachari Vasu. By the power of bhakti, their arms remained frozen in the raised position. They just could not go ahead. Their weapons were thus unable to touch the body of Upachari Vasu. Being unsuccessful, the demons came to Shukracharya. Vyavaruna Shukracharya Upadeshana. And according to his suggestion, they returned to Patalok and began preaching atheism. Pashanda Margam Upadishtatopi Jataya Tat Kripaya Bhagavad Bhakta Pabhuvar iti. So when these demons started, initially they tried to, go and kill him because Upachari Vasu is in his heart, the Lord was residing. They could not do anything. So when they went back, we tried, none of the weapons are working. Shukracharya understood this. Shukracharya said, because the light is residing in his heart, as long as the Lord is there in his heart, you cannot do anything. So now you go and preach Pashanda Margam, atheism, create doubts. And when there's doubts are created, Samsha Atma Vinishriti, that's what it said, So then, his meditation on the Lord will break, and that time you can kill him. So this is the cheap method they took in order to, kill Upachari Vasu, and they went. And these demons hid there, and they started preaching atheism. And when Upachari Vasu heard these words, he opened his eyes and he felt very compassionate to these demons. Just see these demons, how lowly they are, that they have degraded to such a level just to kill me. They are, trying to preach this Pashanda Margam. And he felt compassion on them. And that compassion, what he felt in his heart, touched their hearts and they got transformed and they became Bhagavad Bhaktas. So this is the exalted quality of those Mahabhagavats. The third is Nityananda Prabhu, which I will not discuss because it's a well-known pastime in the Chaitanya Charitamrita and the Chaitanya Bhagavat. Especially in the Chaitanya Bhagavat, it comes how Jagai and Madai, Haridas Thakur and Nityananda Prabhu used to go and preach by the order of Mahaprabhu. Bolo Krishna, Bhaja Krishna, Karo Karo Shikshna. They used to go to each house, beg at their door, holding a straw in their teeth. Some is to accept, some is to drive them away. But they used to follow Mahaprabhu's order. But one day they saw in the Navdeep streets two drunkards, Jagai and Madai, very heavily intoxicated, and people seeing them started running. And then they asked, who are these? These you don't know? These are Jagai and Madai. They are very sinful. They are plunderers, robbers. They enter house of the Brahmanas and rape their wives, So everyone ran away. When Nityanand Prabhu heard about their atrocities and their sinful activities, he started meditating that if these are delivered, then everyone will know Mahaprabhu's glory. So let's go and preach, he said. Haridas Thakur said, no, Baba, we'll be in trouble. But still, Nityanand Prabhu, along with Haridas Thakur, had to follow Nityanand Prabhu's order, and they both went and they repeated the instruction of Mahaprabhu. Moment they heard, they became so angry, and they started, taking their mud pots, liquor mud pots, and started trying to hit them. And they started running. Nityanand Prabhu and Haridas Thakur started running to save themselves. And there is a very beautiful conversation while they are running happens, it's because of you. Today we are in trouble, like that. Not because of me, it is because of your Lord. He ordered us, like that. And that ultimately because they are fat and hefty, they can't run. They stop and then they start fighting with each other. They have to use their fighting propensity. Later on, one day, when Nityanand Prabhu was near the bank of Ganga and he saw Madai there, and then he went and approached and again repeated the instruction. Now, Madai got angry and he, took that pot and hit at the head of Nityanand Prabhu, and Nityanand Prabhu's head started, blood started oozing from his body. But Nityanand Prabhu was just standing there peaceful and showing his mercy. And once again, he wanted to hit this time, but Jagai stopped him. And by the time Mahaprabhu came, his associates told that this is what has happened. Mahaprabhu came with his Sudarshan, and everyone was able to see. Jagai and Madai was able to see, especially Jagai. And Nityanand Prabhu told Mahaprabhu that, don't kill them, because that is not your mission in this avatar. But ultimately, Jagai, protected me, he said. Oh, Jagai did this to you. Immediately Mahaprabhu, bestowed his mercy and he got Krishna Prem, in fact. And Magai was thinking, we both do the activities together. He got Krishna Prem, I did not get, So he begged at the feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu said, no, you have offended Nityananda Prabhu. My Anga, you have got offended. Mahaprabhu was very angry. But then when Magai went and asked forgiveness, Nityananda Prabhu forgave and hugged him, embraced him. That was the causeless mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. And then the transformation, how it happened and all is there in the Chaitanya Bhagavad. So this is the third example, which is Nityananda Prabhu. And we see many examples. The topmost example is of Mahaprabhu, of Srila Prabhupada transforming the whole world. Practically everyone was a demon, Prabhupada, just by his preaching, compassionate preaching, he was transforming them. So now the author is explaining the third offense, Guru Ravagya, disregarding the Guru. As Sadhu Ninda is a great obstacle on the devotional path, disregard to the Guru or considering him an ordinary man is more dangerous. In the Uddhav Gita, Acharya Mam Vijani Nam. Acharya is me, he says. Na Marta Buddhe, you should not consider him as an ordinary man. In the Bhakti Sandarbha, Srila Jiva Goswami quotes one verse from Vaman Kalpa that describes the result of satisfaction and dissatisfaction of Guru Tattva. Yo mantra sa Guru Sakshat, yo Guru sa Hari Swayam, Guru Yasya Bhave Tushtas, Tasya Tushta Hari Swayam. The mantra is Guru himself and the Guru is Hari himself. The mantra is Guru, Guru is Hari. It means there is no difference between Guru, mantra and Hari. The Guru gives the mantra, no? The mantra is also form of the Lord only. In whom Guru is pleased, Hari is also pleased. Yasya Deva, no. Yasya Prasadat, Bhagavat Prasado. And then the next verse shows the poisonous result of dissatisfying the Guru. Haro Rushte, Guru Shrashta, Guru Rushtena Kaschana, Tasmat Sarva Prayatnena, Gurum Eva Prasadai. If Hari is displeased with someone, the Guru can still save him. Haro Rushte, Guru Shashta. But if Guru is angry, Guru Rushte, then nobody can protect him. Na Kashana. Therefore, Tasmat, by all means, Sarva Prayatnena, one must please the Guru. Gurum Eva Prasadayet. Yasya prasada bhagavat prasado yasya aprasada na gutopi na gati kutopi na gati kutopi. There is no gati for him. By citing these verses, Srila Jiva Goswami establishes the satisfaction of Guru is the cause of satisfaction of Bhagavan, and reversely, dissatisfaction of the Guru is the cause of destruction of one's spiritual life. It's a cause of destruction. Please remember that. Whenever the Guru is pleased, then Hari is also pleased. So here, the satisfaction of Hari and the Guru are the cause and effect. We can thus understand that Hari cannot be pleased unless the Guru is pleased. When Hari is angry with someone, the Guru can protect him. But if Guru is angry, Shri Hari cannot protect him. Hence, one must protect oneself from Guru's dissatisfaction in all respects. Hence, the Goswamis have instructed us here to please Shri Guru by all means. When Shri Gurudev is disregarded, Guru Tattva becomes dissatisfied and the sadhaka is bereft of all the fruits of sadhana bhakti. If accidentally the offense of disregard to the Guru occurs, then one should sincerely submit to the lotus feet of the Guru and with repentance ask for forgiveness. The most compassionate Gurudev, who is affectionate to his disciple, will definitely forgive his offense and be pleased with him. After this, the blessed author will elaborately discuss the second offense to the chanting of the holy name, namely seeing difference between the holy name and the attributes, etc. of Sri Shiva and Sri Vishnu. So that we will see tomorrow. Misunderstanding of the position of Vishnu and the demigods, especially Shiva. Okay, any questions you have about this? Yes, Sri Lalita Mukhi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I wanted to ask how Mahabhagavata, like Upari
Upachari Vasu.
landed in Pataloka.
He himself decided to go in Pataloka so that there's no distraction. He can do his bhajan there. Just like sometimes we go inside in the caves, to sit and do our bhajan. The Goswamis used to have in the Govardhan caves, inside they used to go in the caves. So he went there so that he can do his bhajan without any distraction. Okay. Yes, Harsh Radha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, suppose there are three people A, B, and C, and
Hmm.
A has committed offenses against B, and B confides in C, then is
But
it?
no, wait. Let me go step by step. There are three, A, B, and C. A
Yeah.
has committed offense to B, okay?
Yes, and B confides in C.
B confides to
So,
C.
C, yeah. So should he confide, or is it an Vaishnava Aparad applied to B?
No, I'm still not clear with the question. See, he confides to B that I've committed an offense to A.
Yeah, confides to C.
Then
So is
B
it
confides to C.
C?
B
So
conf-
does B commit Vaishnava Aparad against A, or what should he do in this situation?
No. I'm still not getting clear. See, B has committed offense to A, or
No,
A has
A,
committed offense to B.
B, yes.
A has
Yes,
committed offense to B.
B.
Hmm.
And B
And
had confirmed.
B confides to C that this person has committed an offense.
Yes.
Hmm.
So is it right?
Generally, I'll tell you, it doesn't happen like that.
Hmm.
Actually, when A commits an offense to B, actually, it is the A person who has to confide to C that I have committed this offense because his heart is burning. He is feeling the trouble. And then consulting with C, he should go to B and ask forgiveness. Indra committed an offense of trying to kill the Brajbasis by sounding the Samvartak Badal. It was such a grievous offense. And after 7th day, he realized he came back to his consciousness. And then he immediately went to Brahma. Brahma told that I tried to steal the calves and the cowherd boys. You tried to kill them. Very severe offense. So you approach through Surabhi, because Surabhi is very dear to the Lord. So when somebody commits an offense and is not able to approach that Vaishnava against whom he has committed offense, it is difficult for me. It's difficult for the false ego. Then he has to go to someone who is dear to him, and he has to confide to him first, so that he gets the strength to go and actually confide to the person whom he has committed offense, and that person will help him. And this is the principle which we should also use in Vaishnava Aparadh. If we don't have that humility and we don't have that, false ego is not allowing us, so we should go to that person who is close to that person against whom we have committed offense, and then that person on our behalf will help us, just like Surabhi, Krishna is pleased with the Surabhi cow. That's why Surabhi first does the Abhishek, and then Krishna is pleased with Indra, and Krishna forgives Indra. I hope this point is clear.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes. Okay. Sunita Mataji. If
Hare Krishna,
okay,
Prabhuji.
1 minute. Harshradha Mataji,
Yes, Prabhuji.
even if A has committed offense to B and B confides to someone, oh, this person has committed an offense, that is also not a good attitude of B. That oh, he thinks Vaishnavas means they should not take offense, even if somebody commits an offense. And he going and telling, that is not a right attitude also, in one sense. Oh, that devotee has committed offense against me. He should come and ask forgiveness from me. That's also not a right attitude. That's why I mentioned, I reversed it, that it is A who has to go and confide to C. I hope this makes it more clear,
Yes,
right?
Abhijit, I just wanted to know that. And so, what is a bee stand? So, thank you, Prabhuji.
You wanted to know what? Bees?
What is bee stand? That I wanted to know.
Bee stand. Yeah, that's what.
Yes,
Bee stand is I mentioned that he should not take it as an offense.
yes,
And if
yes.
he takes it an offense and he speaks about it that this person is offended, then that is also an offense against
Ah,
A.
yes, yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Yeah. So the question asked by someone. Somebody had raised their hand, I think. I don't know. Who had raised a hand? Yeah, Sunita Mataji. Yes. Yes. Last question.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I had the question that this is very common. What happens? We are not aware, and it happens that some Vaishnava is passing by. We don't greet them unknowingly. We are unawareness because of unawareness. But that Vaishnava takes an offense that this devotee has not greeted me. So such
Yes,
types of
yes. This is the basic general problem in the Vaishnava community. Trunadapi Sunichena principle is what, Amanina Manadena. That you give respect to others, not accepting this. If somebody greets us Hare Krishna, maybe we are, thinking of some issue which is, temple, we are trying to resolve issue and we are going. We don't consciously hear that. Hey, I told him Hare Krishna, he did not tell Hare Krishna. See how much pride he has. Actually, we have pride. Because the philosophy is Amanina Manadina. We give respect to others, but not expect respect. Hmm.
so
So
in
that is
that
how
case,
our principle is. And
so
if
in that
somebody comes and reminds us, "Hey, when I said Hare Krishna, you did not say Hare Krishna," then we should, humbly resolve it and tell that, actually I was not aware and conscious. Please forgive me. And keep it simple like that.
so doesn't that have any reaction, Prabhuji?
No, 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 no.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. That's what I
But
want.
the general principle is that we should respect all living entities, especially and Vaishnavas. Okay, so tomorrow we will take up the last theme, that is the the second offense. The other offense is quite less he discusses, but the first one is most important. So that's where he gives more time. The second is also quite in detail, it's quite philosophy. So tomorrow we'll begin that discussion. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur ki jai. Srila Rupa Goswami Pad ki jai. Sri Madhurya Kadambini ki jai. Hare Krishna.